Good day, everyone, and welcome to Our Life. I am super excited to be back in the station. This is my second home, but I'm more excited because the best way I thought to come back in the station, close out the month, is with a girl power show dedicated to my women of business. So I'm super excited about that, to have 6 amazing, awesome women in the station with me today. But to start off the show, you know, I always like to give a little information. So let's go back to the 19th Amendment. August 18, 1920, women were allowed to vote. But the Voting Rights Act in 1965 allowed racially minorities to be able to vote. That is a big gap in between the time frame. But women started roaring, and you could hear their voices little by little from 1920 to get that right to vote. Come 1965, they got even louder. We're in 2018 now, and I can guarantee you that women of all races, they are roaring. They are running the show in politics, in the boardroom, everywhere. They're running the show. So when I return from this quick break we're about to take, you're going to meet my first 3 dynamic women that run the show. So as soon as we return, we'll be back with my first 3 guests.
I'm feeling honored that I'm being chosen as a Nobel laureate, and I have been honored with this precious award, to the Nobel Peace Prize.
Growing up in Mississippi, my prayer was, for as long as I can remember, God, use me. Use me, use this life. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I know that there is a vision for my life that is greater than my imagination can hold. Use me, what would you have me to do? And that dream, that desire, that prayer brought me somehow to television.
May it remind me and every little child that no matter where you're from, your dreams are valid. Thank you.
If we stop defining each other by what we are not and start defining ourselves by who we are, we can all be free.
I am grateful to have been loved and to be loved now and to be able to love, because that liberates. Love liberates.
We're back. I want to introduce all 3 of the ladies first before we go into each of their stories one by one. The young lady sitting next to me, Miss Tamisha Hunter. I want to say thank you so much for coming, because she traveled all the way from Dallas, just to let you guys know. She has an organization, Women Like Us, and she traveled all the way from Dallas to be here on the show, so thank you so very much for being here. Miss Kim Mason, Women Cultivating Greatness. And then we have my troublemaker at the end, Miss Shanika Grant of Unveiling Aspirations. So I want to thank all 3 of you guys for being here with me today. I'm going to start off with Miss Mason. I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna call you Kim. Is that good? Yeah. Call you Kim. I'm gonna call you Kim. Women Cultivating Greatness. So tell me, what led you to this journey to empower women?
I think it came from watching my grandmother. She was just an awesome person. And I tell people that a woman with an 8th grade education taught me more about life than anything I could have learned in school or a book. She was my first example of a servant leader. And she took care of people. She made sure that people ate. She was big on family. And so Just seeing her is what motivated me to want to empower women and help women myself.
How do you, how is it important? Because I know when I read your bio, you talked a lot about volunteer. And how important it is to volunteer? Because I have volunteered throughout my years.
It's very important to volunteer because people need your help. People out here really need help. So I know I read a study where when you volunteer, you actually get a euphoric feeling about volunteering. You learn about the organization and the people that you're serving. And then one of the things that I really like is that you can actually volunteer and learn a new skill. You know, if you choose, and it's so many options that are open. So I love volunteering.
You use a term in with your organization, Women Cultivating Greatness, of unstuck. So what are some tips that you can give us about to get unstuck?
I think some of the tips that I could give is to decide what it is you really want. Because a lot of times we're looking left and right. What is it that you want? And an example that I could use is that I had thought about for years going back and getting my degree because I didn't have it. And so I think the first thing that I did that really helped was write down on a sheet of paper why I wanted to get this degree. Why was it so important? And there were several reasons. I got tired of being overlooked on positions because they would say that's a degreed position. You know, and then I was training the person who was going to be having that position. So I decided to write down exactly why I wanted it and what would be the benefits and then what would be the obstacles that would stop me from doing it. And then what you do after that is just for each obstacle, find 2 or 3 ways that you could overcome it. At the time, my daughter was 3 years old. So I said, well, what am I going to do for her care? Who is going to look after her? And so I picked my sister and a friend, and when they couldn't do it, I took her to class with me, and I finished the last 2 years.
It takes a village.
It does.
It does.
It
Tell
does.
us, before I move on to my friend Tamisha, tell us about Women Cultivating Greatness. You have an event coming up in May.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Tell us how, if you have a website, give us that information.
Okay. Women Cultivating Greatness is an organization that holds high impact events that allow women to connect, communicate, and eventually collaborate. And the second tier to it is that we try to help other nonprofit organizations to be successful in any way that we can. On May 5th, I'm really excited about it. Women Cultivating Greatness will be honoring 8 women in the Houston area who are executive directors of nonprofits. It's going to be at the Power Center from 11 to 2 on May 5th. And what we're going to do, you know, I've invited some government officials. We have a news anchor who is going to be our mistress of ceremony. We're just going to have a great time and just give back to these women who have dedicated their lives to their mission.
That sounds great. That sounds great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to try to make that event for
Thank
sure.
you.
So thank you for coming. We're going to move on right quick to Miss Tamisha Hunter, my friend. This lady, I talked to her for about an hour when they sent me her information. Talked to her for about an hour. She almost made me shout around my whole house. We on the phone talking, and I'm in the middle of my bed. I said, "Ooh, girl, you finna make me shout. I'll run through my whole house."
Tacos.
Was I eating tacos? I think I was eating tacos. Don't be telling my business like that. But you, life coach, empowering women and teen girls. You have your own company, Women Like Us. Thank you so much for coming. Tell us about your companies and when and why did you decide to launch them?
Well, my company is called Women Like Us, and one of the reasons why I launched it was because it's mainly of my testimony. As I was growing up, I didn't know who I was. I was homeless, I lived on the streets, I was so-called in the thug life game. I was rejected by a parent who said I was not his. So for a long time, I grew up not knowing who I was. And for that reason, I was searching for love in the wrong places. And then it came to a point in my life where I was like, God, why do I go through this? Why am I continuing to go through this? Who am I? Who did you design me to be? So Women Like Us is a nonprofit organization that helps women become who God designed them to be through a spiritual level, through your past testimonies, through just your current testimonies, and we just build you up to empower you and inspire you through that. So that was one of the reasons why I started Women Like Us.
I love it. I love it. Let me ask you something. Some women are hard to empower. So is it easier sometimes to work with teen girls? Because some, like you say, some teen girls, most of them don't know the direction they're supposed to be going in. Most women, some women, they think they know everything. I'm just going to say it like that. So is it easier to work with teen girls than a grown woman, per se?
I'm going to say it's about the same.
Ooh.
Because you have grown women who think they know everything as well, who won't allow you to share your own testimony to help them. And then you have your teens as well who think they know everything, don't want to take the wisdom from an adult as well. So I would say I would categorize them as both based on my experience with the women and the girls that I have worked with.
What keeps you going in the world as a woman? We looked at as we don't know what we're doing, you know? We're kind of looked at like, because I know sometimes when I'm in a conversation at my regular job, they'll just cut me off in the middle of what I'm trying to say. So how do you deal with that? What keeps you going when in this world we're sometimes treated like we don't have a clue on what we're doing as women?
Well, I think, and my son would tell me this all the time because he says that I get angry when I don't get my way. And I think it's more of, as I was growing up, because I didn't know who I was, I allowed people to run over me. I allowed them to define me. And I got to a point where, no, you will not define me. You will hear what I have to say. If you don't want to hear what I say, okay, we're going to continue to move forward, but I'm still going to say what I got to say. Because I have a voice, and you're not going to take my voice away from me. God designed me who I am. If I have a mouth, I have a voice, and you're going to hear it. So what keeps me going to see other women like, okay, how do we work in this environment of people running over us? You have to stand firm and know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, you can't represent yourself to the full capacity.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, because I have that issue. Sometimes people run over me, and I always say it's because I'm small, and they just think, oh, she's small, she ain't, you know. People run over me and don't take me seriously, so I'm gonna
need you to stand up.
I'm gonna step up.
Step up.
I'm gonna step up.
God designed you in your mother's womb.
I'm gonna step up,
to
because
be a voice.
and then when I'm trying to, defend I'm trying to step up, they say I have an attitude. You got an attitude. Your attitude too bad. But anyway, we're gonna go back to that. We're gonna move on to my friend, Miss Grant. Lord have mercy. When I looked at this lady by you, I was like, oh my God. When did you sleep? That's not even one of your questions, but when did you sleep? Let me give you a little background. She has worked with actors Charlene Brown, Sherry Johnson. I've met her personally and interviewed her a while back. A wonderful person. 25 years with acting, You have a dance company. You have a favorite saying, my life is not perfect, but I'm grateful that God allows me a new day, every day full of new possibilities to be the best me that I can be. That's your favorite saying. Your company, Unveil Aspirations. I don't even know where to start. You started acting at the age of 18. What inspired you?
I think starting off, what was the first thing that made me want to act? Y'all remember Flashdance and Debbie Allen, watching them on all of those shows and Good Times. I would sit in front of her and mimic everything that I saw. And then Color Purple, like I can probably do the whole movie on Color Purple. But it started in high school, and I went out to kind of just wanted to see, put my feet in. The Galveston Outdoor Theater, we're doing an apprenticeship. And I went and auditioned. We had over 100 kids came out and auditioned, and I was one of 4 that was chosen. And I got to be in this beautiful, wonderful play called The Sound of Music. And from there, that was it.
And you just go on from there. Tell us about Unveil Aspirations, and you have a host of other companies as well. I can't even list them. So you tell us, because I can't even list them.
Well, Unveiled Aspirations is all about empowering women and girls. We want to, take away the doubt and that women can do anything, once the fear is removed, once the self-doubt is removed. And it also focuses on family strengthening and empowerment. So when Unveiled Aspirations started, I had a tablet. All right, this is what I want to do. I wanted to have something where women can come out and we empower one another. So we have these events. I have these big women conferences going on year 5. And we get together, bring speakers out. And the very first one was so emotional because I sat in the back and I was like, this is my baby. And the girl was singing Break Every Chain. And I was like, that's what it was about. That's what this movement is about. As women, we often put ourselves on the back burner for our families. We stop going to school. We come home and we put our dreams and aspirations to the side in order for, okay, the kids, we're going to let the kids finish school. My husband wanted to go back to school. He's going to go back to school. I'll go back and do what I need to do later. And then later never comes. And so it's to let people know that women, it doesn't matter how old you are, where you are in life, it's never too late for you to go after whatever it is you're dreaming. Whatever your dreams and aspirations, it's never too late.
Okay. So you work Star of Hope.
Yes.
You act. You run a company. So that goes back to my first question that wasn't even on my thing. When does she sleep?
Right.
Yeah. So you have a play that you're in now.
Yes.
Which is Matters of the Heart. So can you tell us a little bit about that or no?
Yes, I can. It's in honor of vitiligo awareness. The founder, Diane, has D-Lyric. It's the name of her entertainment company, and Diane Tribute. And Matters of the Heart is everyday life. It's what we're going through. It's everything from, my character is Alexis. And
It's a bad character.
let me
Play
tell
bad.
you, Alexis gets to throw her hair around and while I'm doing hair, and but it's based in unisex salon, barbershop, beauty shop, and as we're going through things, it's different secrets that come out. What happens when you're holding this secret, or what happens when you're not happy where you are and you kind of let outside sources try to come in and sway you. It's a lot. I can't even give it away. I can just tell you, Alexis, she just, she letting this man come and whisper in her ear and stuff.
You know what?
And he can sing.
Your 5th year for your annual Women Empowerment Conference. Is that coming up?
That is June 20, I was about to say the date. It is June 23rd, and it's going to be from 9 to 2 p.m. It's at the in Lamarck, Texas. It'll be at the Mainland Preparatory Academy. I'm excited. Miss Diane Merchant is amazing. And she was like, I love what you're doing. And she wanted me to come back. We did it there last year.
And when will the play be out?
The play is in 2 weeks. We on in 2 weeks. April 8th, Sunday. We are. They have a new facility where we're going to be at, but y'all can go online. Go to Matters of the Heart has a Facebook page, and get all of the ticket information.
I want to thank these 3 ladies for being the first victims of mine on this. For this first segment, we're going to bring the next 3 out. These lovely 3 ladies will be back because we're going to do a panel setting. They have no idea what I'm going to ask them because I did those questions myself. So when we take this quick break and return, I'll have the rest of my amazing, awesome women with me out here for the next segment. And we'll be right back.
So rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. You might never fail on the scale I did, but some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default.
Of rape and sexual violence as a weapon of war once and for all. We really can do it.
You're willing to work for it, then we must work like never before.
One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world.
There is one message that echoes forth from this conference. Let it be that human rights are women's rights and women's rights are human rights once and for all.
Okay, guys, I told you I was coming back with another 3. And like I said from the beginning, all 6 of them are really boss ladies because they've been running my whole set since they've been here. So I'm back now with my last 3. So I'm going to introduce the 3 of them, and then we're going to get their individual stories. Right next to me is Miss LaShawn Jackson of KM Management. We got Mary. Am I saying it right? 'Cause it's Marie, I gave you a whole nother name, and I've been doing that for a minute. Miss Crawford of Session Boutique. And we got Angela Wells, our little songbird, is in the house with us today. Lord, help me get through this next segment. We're going to start with Miss LaShawn of KM Management, but she's better known as the boss lady. So see what I'm talking about? So tell me, tell us first about KM Management.
Absolutely. Well, actually, I'm actually known as Mama Boss.
Oh, excuse me. See?
But I will answer to the boss lady. And KM Management is a management group. And we actually work in the entertainment industry, and we put an emphasis on singers, rappers in that industry. And what we do is we work on enhancing and building the brand base, building the fan base, and ultimately giving the detail of what each artist needs to take their career to the next level.
Okay. Why music? Why did you want to venture into that world?
Music kind of chose me. It did. You know, it's funny how things can happen to us in our lives that might not make sense at the time, but as we keep on living, as everybody tells you, it starts to come full circle. Just long story short, I grew up with an uncle who put music in my life, to the point where his name for me was Uncle Gunga. He was trying to teach me how to say guitar, and I said Gunga. So to this day, his name is Uncle Gunga to me. World-renowned saxophone player. I used to ride with him all the time to hear him booking gigs and working out, you know, shows and putting shows together. 8, 9, 10 years old, not to know that 20 to 30 years later that I would be actually doing the same thing. So all of those things that he taught me years ago came into play. So when I say music actually chose me, it was like it was already there for me.
Yeah.
I just had to get up and start moving with my own business, and I fell into that genre.
What would you tell another female that wanted to venture into this business? Because this business is music. Has been driven by men for many moons. So what would you tell another young lady or woman that wants to start their business in music?
I would tell them, get ready, put your boots on, definitely have a blueprint, live by that blueprint, plan your work, work your plan. Keep yourself surrounded by very positive people, upwardly mobile people that are doing the same types of things that you're doing. Make sure that you know how to sow a seed into yourself, into your business. It's a different type of respect and control that you have when you're working on your own money. Make sure that you have a team that completes you, not competes you. It completes you, because a team is the most important thing out in any industry, I think, that you'd work with. And then, in the words of Rihanna, I think all I can say is work, 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 work. Let me see your work. I mean, it's a lot of work, and it doesn't stop. I live, eat, sleep, and breathe, moving my artists and building them to the next level so that they can fall into the destiny that God really already put onto their lives.
Exactly. Well, thank you. Again, we're going to move over. I'm going to say Miss Crawford because I don't want to mess that name up. I like Mary. For some of you, want to change your name?
Well, we'll have to talk to my dad about that. But
We're going to call him after this and see if we can change it up a little bit. Your motto, speaking is healing.
Absolutely.
I like that. I like that. Tell us about Session Boutique.
Well, Session Boutique is my business baby. I have 2 daughters, teenage daughters, and in the social media world we have today, you have women who are half clothed and those types of things. And so I came up with the idea of classes in session, right? Teaching our daughters how to dress fully clothed, how to still be a boss with all your clothes on. And so I said, I can come up with my own boutique. My daughters watch me on a day-to-day basis. So what better person to emulate than their mom? They're always in my clothes anyways. And so if they're going to be in my clothes, and they're going to grab pieces out of my clothing that fit them and then make them transitional for themselves, make them their own. And so that's what we offer at Session Boutique. Class is always in because, you know, class is still there. Class,
Yeah, it is.
We like
but
that.
some young ladies, they don't know about that.
They don't.
The younger generation is like dressed naked and it's okay.
Absolutely. And the thing about it, they know it because that's all they see. So if we change the vision as far as what they have access to seeing, and if we as the parents or the adults set the tone and the momentum to continue to teach them, they're not lost. They're still teachable. So if we show them by leading by example as far as what class is, not sitting in a classroom and, you know, taking a test, but actually showing them class elegance, being sophisticated, learning how to talk and walk and how to address conversations. So it prepares you when you're being an entrepreneur or a boss, or you want to open up your own business. You're fit for it. You're already well groomed for the occasion. So
what keeps you going?
Oh, goodness. So God keeps me going for number one because He is the head of my life. I wasn't supposed to be here. I'm not going to cry because I want to make sure that we keep, you know, the lashes on intact. But I'm just being very transparent with you. I wasn't supposed to be here. I had a medical issue that I experienced before after I had my youngest daughter. And so that was an awakening for me, being able to have a second chance. so that way I can teach my daughters and be there for them. Because a lot of daughters that are growing up, they are lost. And so what I do is I allow my children to be creative and be themselves by asking them, what is it that you want to do? Not pushing on them what I want them to do. And when the feedback, when they come and talk to me about boys or, you know, those types of questions regarding sex and things that most people Google, they come to mom. And so that's what keeps me going, knowing that I have my daughters, but they have a friend in me as well. They can come to me, they're comfortable, because I create that safe place.
And get the correct information.
Absolutely. And I'm going to give it to them real, because I tell them, for every action, there is a reaction. So don't worry about the reaction from mom. Just be more comfortable coming to me with it, and we can work it out together. So to me, I think if we practice that tone in our home, then we'll have more kids comfortable coming to us and talking and having those conversations that instead of them going to Instagram or Facebook looking it up, you can come to mom and what is this? Why is she dressed this way, or why is he saying this or addressing her in that manner? Then you can better explain it to them without them going to their friends.
Yeah.
Right? And seeking the answers from them, because Lord knows what they would say.
Well, thank you also for being here with me. We're going to go to my songbird, Miss Angela.
Love that.
Everything to Me.
Yes.
You're releasing that spring of 2018.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So when did you start singing?
Oh, Monique, I started singing at a very young age. It really was. I would say, my mom says 3, but I'm going to say about 6 years old. And I've always had music around me because my mom, she's a singer, and she was in a group with her sisters, and they traveled all over Houston singing in churches and women's conferences. And my dad, he was also a singer, and he was in a group, and he traveled all over.
So it was in your
everywhere.
blood.
It's in my blood. And I knew it was something, music was just in me. And I just knew that was something that I wanted to do. It wasn't just a phase like, I want to sing. But I knew that was my heart and my purpose. And that I had to go for it and just achieve that dream, even being a little girl.
You are a gospel artist.
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
So
Yes.
why did you choose gospel music?
You know, I chose gospel music because God is just everything to me. And I know that, you know, people tell me all the time, you know, you could be a secular artist, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, Monique, I do want to sing the gospel because it is the good news. And God has been so incredibly good to me, and He's taken care of me and my family. And I just want to sing that and get that out there to the people so they know just how good and amazing God is.
Tell us a little bit about Everything to Me.
Everything to Me is my new CD coming out this spring, and I titled it that because God literally is everything to me. And I know that no matter what we're going through in our lives, Monique, whether it's good or bad, whatever's happening, life's ups and downs, we have to rely on Him. And in every season of our lives, no matter what it is, He is everything to me. He's everything to us because He's going to keep you. He's going to be that friend that sticks closer than a brother and a sister. He's going to be there for you. So He is everything. He's everywhere, and He's in us. So that's why I named it Everything to Me.
Okay. I'm gonna stop right there. Okay. When we return, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna change out some things. When we return, I'm gonna have all 6 of these boss ladies with me. So we're gonna see where that's gonna go and how that's gonna work out. When we return, we'll be right back, and I'll have all 6 of my ladies with me.
Awesome.
Hi, this is Kim of Women Cultivating Greatness. Our mission is to hold high-impact events that help women to connect, communicate, and collaborate. We also work with other nonprofits to help them in their missions. We will be this year creating more events and more things to help women. If you're interested, Please go to www.womencultivatinggreatness.com. And once again, I am the executive director of this fabulous organization, and my name is Kim Mason. We'll have the honor of recognizing 8 executive directors of nonprofit organizations here in Houston. It's going to be a great event, something unique. I've invited some very special guests. It's going to be a wonderful meal and a really good time to thank these women, these 8 incredible women, for the work that they do in our community every day. The world just couldn't function without nonprofits. So reserve your seat. Go to www.womencultivatinggreatness.com. And yes, men are invited.
To be a person in charge when some men feel we shouldn't be. Anybody.
I ignore those type of thinking personally. Being that I used to work with NASA, and it was the crew escape equipment, awesome job. It was male dominated. So there were only a handful of females in that arena where we were. But you just got in there and you raised up your arms and showed them that you can do what they can do. So we had a number of women that have made history that no one actually did any highlights on until recently. Right. So like Sharon McDougal has recently been, and she's a female, first African-American crew chief. And so when we get put in these positions where men don't feel like we should be there, I think it's just, that's more of an opportunity for us to work harder to prove them wrong. I love to prove someone wrong when they say we can't do something.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. This is something that I call petty. And we talked about this on the Light Skin versus Dark Skin show briefly. How do you guys feel about women that don't empower each other, or women that are always trying to downplay what you have going on for whatever reason? I call that very petty, because I think all women, all races, we should always empower each other, especially black women, because we've come a long way.
Right. Yeah.
And we have so many young black teens that are just all over the place, like you talked about, Tamisha. You guys talked about. So what do you feel about that? Because I call it petty.
How I feel about it is that, hurt people hurt people. And so I think that forgiveness is very important. And if I'm able to be friends or be kind to them, I will. But eventually there's a point where if you're not willing to see it different or change, or if there's some kind of jealousy going on, then I may have to move on. I may have to move on. But I'll try my best to make another woman feel comfortable. And I always try to support other businesses.
Right. And you touched on a really good subject there, because hurt people do hurt people. Yes. And you used the word petty, which is a great word to use. Those women, they're broken and they're looking for attention. And so it's an outlet, because they see you moving in a comfort zone that they're uncomfortable in. And so we had this conversation earlier about the steps are already ordered. So you can help me go to the next step. If I fall down, queen, support queen, so you can help lift me up. But you can't tell me how high I should go because you're uncomfortable with the altitude that I'm going. And so that's where the cattiness comes in, and you think you're this and that, and I think we as women, we watch TV and we emulate those types of things and have those conversations amongst each other. I was victim of this a long time ago before I changed my environment. You are who you hang around. So if this person walks in the room and you're with your group of friends talking, oh, she thinks she's this and that, then what are you going to do? You're going to practice that same tone and conversation.
Okay.
That's true.
Anybody else want to say something on that? You want to say something on that?
Sure. What I was thinking was every how should I put this? Every woman, no, let me take it back. Every child that's grown into a woman goes through that stage of talking down to other women, discouraging other women. As we used to say growing up, being two-faced. But then it comes a time where your brokenness will allow you to say, hey, I don't want to do that anymore. So you have to take it upon yourself to want to empower yourself to empower other women. Because I was thinking as you were talking, Kim, about crabs in a bucket. You know, we talk about that in the workplace, but really that's what life is about. Because us as women don't want to see another woman outdo us.
Right.
But the thing of the matter is, if you allow yourself to empower that woman to get to the next level, then pull her up. Because you said queens are queens. Straighten your, I just did a segment on that. Straighten up your crown. Wear your crown, because we all are queens.
Absolutely.
We all were born to know who we are, to love one another, to empower, to inspire, because the Word of God says to love everyone. So what is wrong with you loving the next woman? Because if you're broken, she can help you fix your brokenness. Just like my sister LaShawn can help me. Just like you, Kim, you can help me. We can help each other in every area, because where I'm weak, you may be strong. And I need your strength to allow me to get to that next level.
Absolutely.
Y'all see why I want to shout around my house? When I talk to
Absolutely. Yeah, and just think what's being emulated here. This is what it looks like when queens link up. This is showing the world right now in real life reality what it looks like when powerful women, entrepreneur women, boss women, women who are wives and mothers, what it looks like when we all can get together and laugh and talk and have these types of conversations.
Absolutely. And encourage each other and help each other. Like, we don't really know each other. You know, we all just met today, but we've just helped each other and encouraged each other to move forward. And that you are beautiful. And that no matter what you're going through, I'm going to help you. You know, not just say that, but really, if you need me, you can call me. Like, I'm your sister. I will be there for you. So I think we just have to get to that level, because sometimes, you know, Monique, life, I say this all the time, that life will knock the life out of you.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes. And as women, we do so much, and sometimes we just have low self-esteem, and you're so low, you don't know how to help another woman. You don't have it in you to encourage her, because you're just trying to live. You're just trying to wake up and make it through the next day. So that's why we have to learn how to see people where they are sometimes and know, I've really got to help my sister.
And that's the reason why you should not be afraid to tell your testimony. Because your testimony is your test to allow somebody else to understand that, hey, if my sister went through this, I can get through it as well. Be an overcomer, because that's what we all are, overcomers.
But it has to be a woman that wants to wear the crown.
Absolutely.
It has to be a woman that wants to have the royal blood and that lineage of being a better person, of being a better woman. So, because if you don't have that, then they're not going to follow. They're not going to even see what you try to do and present to them through your experiences.
And we can't just say it. You have to show it. That is my biggest thing. Don't tell me how much you support me. Don't tell me how much you love me. Show me.
Show me.
And that's our problem. As women, we don't want to show one another. And I'm not going to say it, because one of the biggest things that for me is, even if you can't make an event, or even if you feel like, girl, what, you know what, your prayers mean more to me than anything else. A text message saying, sister, I'm thinking about you. I'm lifting you up. Hey, do you need anything going forward with this event? I can't make it, but I'm praying for you. Hey, I hope everything goes well. That's the type of stuff. Just knowing that you have another woman that has your back, that's cheerleading for you to be successful, and not, you know, as we're in this boat, she's not secretly putting them little holes in the boat.
Absolutely.
Right. But
Go ahead.
I was just going to add to that. I just think that, again, it boils back to we have to learn who we can invest into and who will give us the return. A lot of times I think that we spin our wheels trying to share things and help and pull along with people that don't even want those types of things done for them or to help them type of thing. So, you know, I just think that we have to just keep, you know, pushing and working with and identify people, because if we'll allow it, God will define your circle.
Absolutely. That's right.
He will carry the people with you that need to be there, you know, if we're in tune with Him. So I just think it's about identifying the people that deserve that type of following, you know, in your life.
I just, for both of you, I just had those same conversations like this week about people, people around me, how genuine they are. I've been doing this for a very long time, and it's like people just take it as I'm doing it as a hobby. So recently, like the other day, my feelings have been, I've kind of been in my feelings, like we say, I've been kind of in feelings. So I had to have conversations about that same stuff.
Yeah.
About who I'm around, are they genuine to me, and so forth and so on. So y'all just don't know how y'all blessing me. Another question, I've spoken to you about this before, and even in your world, respect. I know you told me when you walk into a boardroom at another music company, you will always demand your respect. So do you guys feel that in this day and time we still have to work hard to get the respect due to us in the workplace? So when we walk into a boardroom, do we have to put on an easy-go-lucky mask, like, you know, we just, oh, it's okay, and okay, this, you know, do we just go along with it, or do we, what you told me, man up? I need to man up. Or we need to just man up all the time? What?
I'm always on guard. When I'm in the field, I'm always on guard. And when I said earlier in the segment, stick to the business, it's all about the business. If you're outside of that family circle, it's just about business. So my answer is yes. I'm always manned up.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times we have to practice that mask, because if not, if you walk into a room full of men, they're intimidated by your presence because you're a woman, and they feel like you don't have what it takes to bring it to the table to lead. And so what you have is women practicing that hard role, or that very forward talking. And so a lot of times people interpret that differently, as being rude or disrespectful, because they feel like they have to practice being that way. And a lot of times the message isn't quite clear. And so I think in society has allowed women to be disrespected so openly that before you would have men who would say yes ma'am, yes ma'am. It was more of the respect back then than it is now, because now you listen to the music that has it, we repeat it as we're in our car because the melody sounds good, but we don't know that we are training our thoughts by repeating those same things over and over again. We even call each other disrespectful names. Women call each other that, you know, and I refer to women as queens, but other women may refer to them outside of that, you know.
Don't say the word.
I'm not going to say it, but absolutely not. But it's all about what we practice. And so, yeah, just to kind of piggyback that, you definitely have to, it is an on and off switch. Because if not, then you're not going to take me seriously.
And kind of for me, I guess I won't say I'm always manned up because of my personality. So when I walk in, I'm smiling. I'm that one person that's going to walk in and say good morning. I will say good morning, get in your face and say good morning even when you don't want to say it back. And so I will eventually, you're going to say good morning to me. But I've earned some of those respect for some of these guys. Like, I work at a hospital. And when you walk in and you're one of the only African Americans in the department, and then you're a female, and then you're almost younger than everybody in there, and you walk in, they automatically have their preconceived notions of how I should carry myself and how I should talk and how I should wear my hair. Girl, my hair changes from day to day. Don't watch me. You can't watch me, number one. And number two, my voicemail, people will call my voicemail and they'll be like, who was that on your voicemail? Oh, that's Chanika Grant.
There you go.
You're talking to Nika. So we have to understand, like she said, it's a switch we have to turn off and on. But at the same time, like I've had a boss that come to me and he was very rough. And I think what the problem is that when they overstep those boundaries, when they do it the first time, is when you stop it. So I usually say, I'm gonna give you one. That is my motto. I'll give you one because maybe you just don't know any better. But for me, with him, it was the first time. So I think as soon as that disrespect happens, you have to address it right then and there.
Okay, stop there. Okay, we're gonna move. Stop where you just press pause. Right where you at. we're gonna move on to the next thing. The first thing I need to say is, our life. We do not condone or sexual harassment of any kind in the workplace, any type of disrespect in the workplace. We don't condone that. We're not for that. So I want to put that out there, and that's for our life and the entire staff. Stay on pause. What would you say? And you kind of just went into that and it could be a woman or a man. It's put into an uncomfortable position in the workplace by the boss. Now you said you like me. I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Now play.
So when he did, he basically is like he was yelling, and he was like, "Would you want me to do your job too?" Da da da. Oh. I stepped back, and I said, "Okay. Obviously, you need a little more time to yourself before you talk to the rest of us." And he looked at me. Like, he sat back in his chair like he couldn't believe the words I was saying to him. I said, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these papers here that I need you to sign and to look over. And I'm going to close your door to allow you to have this time so that when you come back out the door that you're ready to talk to me. Because right now, obviously, you're not ready to talk to me because I won't let you or anybody else talk to me. Did you still have your job? I still had my job and received a raise.
Oh.
But it was my delivery.
I need for you to teach me how to do that because I need all that in my job.
What you say is
it's how you say it. And it wasn't, I wasn't being disrespectful.
Yeah.
I was telling him because I will not allow you to talk to me in that manner, and I'm not going to allow anyone else. So I am going to allow you the moment that you may need, because maybe you had a bad morning, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and I'm going to allow you. So I closed his door. He stayed in about 15, 20 minutes. When he came back out, he walked right past me. He went in the coffee and he said, "Good morning." I said, "Good morning." And we continued our conversation. But it was the respect that he ended up having for me was on a totally different level. So I would watch how he handled other people. He never again handled me in that manner.
That's right.
Sorry.
So my question, I play a little devil advocate. Again, I don't condone any type of sexual harassment towards anyone, maybe a man or a woman. But my thing is, what's more important, a promotion or respect? Because me personally, and I'm not trying to blame any victims. Let me get that out there. I'm not trying to blame any victims. But I'm not going to let you disrespect me, especially in a sexual way. And I wouldn't stay in that type of environment. Right. I would do something about it. So that's why I asked, what's more important, a promotion or respect? What?
Respect.
Absolutely, respect.
Yes. I mean, I'll take that over anything.
Absolutely. It's not enough money to get disrespected like that.
Because this is going to be respect with the capital R.
Absolutely.
I guess I don't understand how certain things now are going on in the world.
Yeah.
So that's why I question that. Is it promotion or respect? Because
Because if you look towards the promotion, you're allowing the promotion to define you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot allow the promotion or the world or anyone else to define who Tamisa Hunter is.
Absolutely.
So I will always make sure that I'm respected and I respect myself in the same manner.
Right.
Well, I think what happens is people become desperate to fame, to their career, to
Or scared,
being,
or fear.
you know, and really, I heard T.D. Jakes say one time, he says, in desperation, we make permanent decisions under temporary circumstances. You know, sometimes these are things that these are stepping stones, and these are just phases that we have to go through to grow to be who we need to be.
Absolutely.
And we toil ourselves so bad at that particular point that there's no recovery from it. So yeah, 10 years now, I was molested or I was raped, but I never said anything about it because I was desperate. So there was no benefit in that for you at all, even though you thought you gained because your career grew, but you really took away from yourself.
Yeah. So the last question for the panel: what kind of encouraging words or tips do you guys have for women, young women, teens that want to venture into that? Because I'm a big believer in owning your own stuff, owning your own business. What words of encouragement, empowerment you have for women that are in this game, trying to get in this game? Me, 1 minute I want to stop to keep me going in this world, because sometimes it is hard for women.
I know for me, the one thing that's very important is that you have to believe in what you want to do. If you don't have a why at the end, you know, you'll quit. I quit every day, but then the next morning, I'm like, okay, how am I going to hit this again? Because God won't let me quit. And I said, can you let me quit, please? Because it's very hard work. And but it's very rewarding work. You know, I wake up in the morning thinking about my business, and I go to bed thinking about my business. And I have so much joy. And even if I do take a couple of days off, I can't wait to get back to it. So, but your why has to be strong enough that will prevent you from quitting.
Let me get one word from each of y'all quickly, because they telling me to wrap up, and we got to wrap up.
And well, I would say your circle. You want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals and making sure that the people that you are surrounding yourself are there to help you get to the next level. If they're not pouring into you, then that means they're taking away from you. So you have to be mindful that everybody can't go to the next step with you. So if you're serious about doing your business and getting out there, then you're going to seek out and want to be around those other women that are going to empower you and encourage you to continue on your journey.
That's right.
Okay, one word.
That's right. And I like what Kim said, believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Next.
Have a strong prayer life.
Yes.
Most
Believe in
definitely.
God.
Absolutely.
Have a strong team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Ask God what His will is for your life.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Well, with that one word,
Maybe two.
and them two words, we're going to close out the show with our songbird, Miss Angela Wells, taking us on. Taking us on with a little taste of her album that's going to be released in spring of 2018. I want to thank my studio audience for being here, as well as my audience at home. I want to thank these lovely ladies for coming out, traveling all the way from Dallas to be with me and to do this Girl Power show and to show women that, hey, don't stop what you got going on. Keep removing your masks, keep empowering each other. Be in the right circle, the right team, and talk to God about what you want to do. Our next show will be on mental health. So if you want to be a guest in the studio audience, you want to be a guest on the show for mental health, contact us at ourlifetvshow@gmail.com. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys when I come back in the station. Always continue to remove your mask and empower. Until next time, we'll be right back with Miss Songbird. So cute.
closer. You are drawing me in, and with you everything changes. My life is in your hands, and you have won me. Overwhelming love has captured me. You're overtaking me, and all to Jesus I surrender. You're all I want. You're everything to me. Lord, you're everything. You are taking me higher. You are making me new. And with you, everything changes. 'Cause my life is in your hands. And you have won me. Overwhelming love has captured me. You're overtaking me, and all to Jesus I surrender. You're all I want. You're everything. This will be my song forever. There will never be another love like your love. Love like your love. This will be my song forever. There will never be another love like your love, Jesus. Oh, this will be my song forever. There will never be another love like your love. Love like your love. You can have my heart forever. There will never be another love like your love. You have won me. Overwhelming love has captured me. You're overtaking me, and all to Jesus, my God, I surrender. You're all I want. You're everything, my everything. You have won me. Lord, you're overwhelming. Love has captured me. You're overtaking